Even before I got married, there were definite red flags, things that I felt uncomfortable with. I would reason with myself like, oh, it'll change when we're married, or oh, maybe it's me, maybe I'm insecure, maybe I'm the one that is in the wrong. When I came home from the shops and I'd putting things away in the cupboards, they had to be perfectly aligned. Baked beans couldn't go on top of the tin tomatoes. Cereal packages couldn't be a millimetre out. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of gaslighting and name calling, a lot of anger. But over those years, I just became like a stick. Yeah, I was 42 kilos. The emotional and physical and every kind of abuse just took its toll on me. The kids were quite frightened around him. They would be very careful and cautious on what they said. And my eldest daughter then disclosed he was abusing her. Turned out after a police investigation that he'd been doing it to all 4 children. I have a child with cerebral palsy and a boy. Yeah, it was horrific. I didn't expect that. I knew he could abuse me. I knew that was the kind of man he was, but not his own children. And I carried a lot of guilt for that for a long time. Those last 3 years, he had this affair and he brought her into the house. It was just too much. And I realized that, you know what? If I stay in this relationship, I'm going to take my life. If I leave this relationship, he might kill me. But at least I would have left trying. And I might get away. And as you can see, I did. I got away and started to learn a little bit about myself. When I started to feel safe, I was able to self-reflect. I was able to look at my journey, process some of the things that went on there, and create that environment where I could start to thrive again.
I was working about an hour and a half or hour and a quarter away from our house, and I was driving home one day and called Xena on the phone, and she had this idea. She said, I think we need to be helping people going through what we're going through. And I said, what's it look like? And she said, I think we need to start a support website. Basically, within 3 days of that, we had a website up and running, and that was the beginning of our journey. The Hebrew word for ark is a word called Tibar. It actually means restoration box or life preserver. As an organisation, we wanted to be like a restoration box or a life preserver for people that were drowning.
You know, one of those big rings that you're on a side of a boat that you throw in when someone's overboard, and you throw it in and their feet might be flapping around like crazy, but they can rest in this big ring.
That's good.
To hold until they get to safety. One of the services that we provide is counselling and pastoral care, which we do in this room here. Here's my little counselling space. We just sit down there and we have a bit of a chat. And this is also my office where I write my books. If people want to do Zoom, to meet me with Zoom, or because, you know, some people can't get here, and I help people all over the world and all over Australia, and so we do a lot of Zoom. I do a lot of Zoom and a lot of phone calls. So this is this space here. So the type of people that come and meet with me are people that have either just come out of a domestic violent relationship, or they've experienced abuse when they were younger. Any kind of trauma really that has impacted their lives. We talk through things, process emotions, maybe emotions that we haven't processed forever. People really value when you say, I've had these experiences. It's not just textbooks. You know, and you've gone through things and you've come out the other side and you look reasonably healthy, and it gives people hope. And when they see that restoration and healing is possible, people find safety in that. I felt led to write a children's book, which was Brave Little Bear. It's to equip children, 3 to 7 year olds, self-protective behaviours. And then I wrote this one, which is Too Big Not to Share, and it's for children between 6 and 12 years old. Again, equipping children with self-protective behaviours. The next year, I decided to write another one, and this one is Why Is It So Important to Empower Our Children? And at the back, it has 10 tips for protecting children and what do you do if you suspect abuse. I went to bed, I had a bit of a nightmare, and I always put worship music on, and the first song that came up was Write Your Story. Literally 6 months later, this book finished, done, everything. I just finished it. I was like a woman possessed. I wanted my book to be a light that, even though we are broken, that we can go forward and become beautiful. From there, I actually wrote another book, which only came out last year, called Lift, and it's Live in Freedom and Thrive. And it's actually a workbook. It's for people who have been through trauma after abuse and wants to know how to heal. It's going to turn into a 3-day course later this year and an online course.
Pav and I have been part of At The Ark for around about just over 2 years, and we got involved with the charity. We thought maybe there weren't as many of us who've gone through similar things, but the sad reality is there's always somebody who knows somebody. We couldn't help but jump on board and join them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We approached the Helensvale market to come here, and we were very fortunate enough to be allowed a spot here and come here. And we come here every fortnight now, and it's been amazing. The community's been really good, been very supportive. We have a lot of people coming back all the time. So it's been really good, really good.
We're obviously a faith-based charity, and we're just so grateful because we do know that we have got a God that is basically behind and driving this entire thing. We're really just the instrument, so we're just so grateful that no matter what the need is, He knows. Yeah, it's been pretty special to be part of. Yeah. So the mobile op shop runs from our residential garage at our home in Coomera. My husband, Pav, very gratefully sold his jet skis to make room for all the clothes, and it started out as a bit of fun. We've now got a whole beautiful, library pretty much. This is our sorting station, so excuse the chaos. It's this. I'm not going to lie, it always looks like this because as soon as donations come in, they get sorted, they get hung, they go out. So just for example, this little bag of Legos here, we just love the fact that this was a family we supported 3 months ago, which is quite lovely. We have a lot of that where families will come to us for help but end up helping us when they're on their feet again. So it's really, really sweet. So if families are feeling a little bit exposed and vulnerable, they don't want to go out in public to op shops, or they can come here privately, normally a bit tardier when we have guests, but they can come on over. We've got, crockery, cutlery, plates in there. We've always got a selection of Tupperwares, just practical things, cooking pots. Is really just come on up this way. Please excuse the mess. We very rarely get time to clean. And what I have behind me is this lovely family who's donated the washing machine and a whole lot of others of their belongings. My children's bedrooms are there, where they've got a walkway to get through to their rooms, but we really are trusting for a bigger warehouse that we could use as a collaborative space for storage, just a safer space for people to come in and shop as well. This machine is being picked up by a family who's also picking up the fridge, and they're just going to help us load it all on the back of the ute, and we're going to deliver it to them.
Then we'll deliver it to their house.
So we get some beautiful stuff, like really good quality.
It's a real recycling effort. So people donate, they bring stuff in, and we have families that are becoming looking for stuff pretty much every day. So
Yeah.
that comes in and they go straight back out again.
Yeah.
So if you grab onto this as well, you right? You good? Ready?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. This fridge is going to this beautiful family. They've had a little bit of a rough few weeks. Yeah. They reached out, one of her friends is a regular donation to our charity and supports us, and just said they need help, can we help? And yeah, we were able to just help with a few bits and pieces.
A lot of families, when they're in crisis, particularly after disclosure of abuse and stuff like that, they really don't know what to do. So we are able to give them a $200 food voucher from Coles or Woolworths, and which then just aids them to get some much needed food for their families, for that particular week or whatever. Sometimes we, if it's a DV client, on many occasions we've been able to put some security cameras in place, and there's all different ways that we assist people, and they're just some of them. Hello, he's just filming me. All right. Well, if you're watching this and you're wondering, how can I support these guys? Number one, if you're in business, get on board with us, sponsor us, financially get behind us in a way that allows us to be able to do what we're doing more. We need a qualified child counsellor, but that comes at a cost. The waiting list in a lot of charities, particularly here on the Gold Coast, is 6, 9, 12 months. We need emergency accommodation. There is never enough, really, to be able to do it, but if we could get something, it would make a massive difference.
Through my journey of feeling broken and lost and empty, and going forward through At The Ark, I have seen God just show up time and time again. And there's been such a parallel from where He supplied all my needs when I needed it most. And I see us helping other people by supplying their needs when they need it most.